They are leaving today. The moving truck is idling out front. A heavy, rhythmic thrumming. It vibrates the glass. I'm watching from behind the heavy lead blankets. The boy is staring at our front door. His eyes. There is no one home in those eyes. Just a hollow, static, gray emptiness. He doesn't blink. He just leaks, like the light was sucked out with a vacuum. I have to record this before the sunset, before the resonance begins again. It started years ago. This place, it's too perfect. The lawns are a chemical green. The air always smells like fresh rain and sharp ozone. We call it the frequency. It's a trade. We get the luck, the promotions, the miraculous recoveries. My sister, she was gray when she was born, cold, lungs like wet paper. Then we moved here. Now she runs so fast she leaves bruises on the air. But excellence has a price. At 3:03, the rule is the only thing that matters. Don't look for the pedestrian. Don't seek the source of the hum. Every night, my father drags the lead-lined blankets across the windows. He clicks the tiny locks. Snap, snap, snap. The sound of copper sliding into steel. He hides the key, or he used to. Years of safety make you soft. Years of luck make you forget that the predator is still pacing the perimeter of your cage, just outside. The hum starts at the end of the cul-de-sac. A low-frequency melodic vibration. It's cheerful. That's the worst part. Da, 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 dum. It isn't a person. It's a weight. It moves through the floorboards first. My teeth ache. My molars thrum in their sockets. We sit in the kitchen, staring at the floor, waiting for the vibration to pass. If you stay in the dark, the luck stays in the house. That's the deal. We never broke it. Then came the boy. Holden. He was curious. That's a terminal illness in this zip code. He stayed over because his parents were chasing another blessing out of town. He sat on the floor, picking at the carpet. He kept asking about the sound. My skin crawled. I could smell the copper in the back of my throat. He didn't believe in the lead. He didn't believe in the quiet. He looked at the window like it was a challenge. It was 2:50 a.m. The air became thick, like breathing through wet wool. Holden was smiling, a sharp, jagged look. He told us he saw where the key was. My dad's keychain, resting on the nightstand, just sitting there. For years, we thought the lock kept the thing out. We were wrong. The lock was there to keep our curiosity in. I felt a cold sweat break across my neck. My heart was a frantic hammer against my ribs. I crept into my parents' room. The air was freezing. Static electricity made the hair on my arms stand up. The hum was already starting. Faint, distant, like a choir of hornets. I saw the keys, but as I reached, the sound changed. It wasn't outside anymore. I could hear it through the ventilation ducts. a soft, wet whistling. Da-da-da-da-dum. My father was asleep, or he looked asleep. He was too still, like a statue of a man. I heard a click from the living room, the sound of a latch being forced. My soul dropped into my stomach. I ran. My feet felt like lead. I hit the hallway and saw them. Holden was at the front window, hand on the blanket. He was fumbling with the copper key. He looked at me and grinned. It wasn't a child's grin. It was too wide, too many teeth. The frequency was right outside the glass, screaming in silence. 303. The house groaned. The floorboards shrieked like dying animals. Holden yanked the cord. The heavy lead blanket whipped upward. It made a sound like a guillotine. Thump. I dived. I grabbed Nola. I pulled her to my chest and squeezed my eyes shut hard. I saw stars. I felt the air change. The room didn't feel like a room anymore. It felt like an open mouth, cold, vast, waiting. We were exposed. The shield was gone. The whistling stopped. The silence. It was heavy. It pressed on my eardrums until they pulsed. I held Nola. She was shaking. A rhythmic, jagged tremor. I could feel Holden next to us. He wasn't moving. I reached out. My fingers brushed his sleeve. He was cold, like a piece of meat left in a freezer. I kept my eyes sealed. I knew if I looked, the luck would end. The light would go out. Forever. I reached for the window. My hand felt the glass. It wasn't smooth. It felt textured, like millions of tiny insects were vibrating against the other side. A gentle hum fed back into my fingertips. A warmth. It felt like a heartbeat. A massive, slow, rhythmic pulse. Thump, thump, thump. I groped for the string. My fingers were numb. I felt the cord. I pulled. I yanked with everything I had. The lead fell back down. Cling, clang, locked. Holden screamed. It wasn't a scream of pain. It was a sound of absolute realization. The lights flickered on. My father was there. He looked at me. Then he looked at Holden. I saw the terror in his eyes. A raw, ancient fear. He didn't ask what happened. He saw the blanket. He saw the key in the lock. He asked me just one thing. He whispered it. Did you look? I told him no. He slumped against the wall, relieved, negligent, broken. Then the knocking started. Tap, tap, Tap. On the front door. Polite. Patient. Then the back door. Tap. 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 It started moving around the house, like someone was running a stick along a picket fence, but it was on our walls. All of them, at once. It sounded like a dozen people trying to find a soft spot in the wood, trying to find a way in. We huddled on the floor. The air smelled like wet copper and old blood. Call the police. My mother's voice was a ragged thread. She was staring at the door. My father shook his head. He knew. Then, a voice came from the porch. It was her voice. Perfect. Identical. Call the police, the thing outside said. It repeated it, over and over. A parrot mimicking a funeral. Call the police. Call the police. Call the police. Each time, the pitch shifted, getting flatter, more mechanical, more wrong. The knocking became a sledgehammer. The door frame was splintering. Thud, thud, thud. The whole house was a drum. We were the seeds inside. Holden was crying. A soft, wet sound. He kept saying he wouldn't tell. He promised he wouldn't tell what he saw. But the thing outside didn't care about secrets. It wanted the light back. It wanted the luck it had invested in us. The tapping moved to the window, right behind the lead. Tap, tap, tap. We stayed in the center of the room until dawn. The tapping never stopped, a rhythmic, mocking sound, like a finger bone on glass. My father held a baseball bat, but his hands were shaking so hard the wood rattled against his wedding ring. At 7 a.m., the sun touched the street. The tapping vanished. The weight lifted. The air smelled like ozone one last time, then shifted back to the sweet scent of neighborhood jasmine. The nightmare was over. Briefly. Holden's parents came back. They took him home. They didn't yell. They didn't scream. They just looked. They had the same gray pallor, the same lightless eyes. By Thursday, the moving truck was there. They packed in silence. No music, no talking, just the sound of cardboard dragging on pavement. I watched them go. They looked like ghosts being evicted from a graveyard. The luck was gone. The million little blessings had curdled into a million little tragedies. I remember what the committee said. Not everyone dies. Some just lose the light. They live, but there's no presence. Like a house with all the furniture, but no people. I look at my sister now. She's laughing. She's healthy. Her lungs are clear. But sometimes at 3:03, she stops. She tilts her head. She listens to the hum. And I wonder, if I had been a second slower, would I be the one at the window now, whistling back? We don't have guests anymore. The locks are checked 3 times every night. My father hides the key in a place I'll never find. He doesn't trust the luck anymore. He knows it's a loan, and the interest is paid in shadows. The whistling is louder tonight. Or maybe I'm just listening harder. I can hear the floorboards groaning down the lane, near the Carson place. It's coming. The pedestrian is on the move. I can feel the vibration in the soles of my feet now. Low, constant. A rhythmic thrumming that makes my vision blur. It's almost 3:03. The lead blankets are heavy. They feel like tombstone slabs. I'm sitting in the kitchen. The ozone smell is back. It's sharp. It burns the back of my nose. I won't look. I'll never look. I'll keep my eyes on the floor, on the ripples in the water, on the darkness. Wait, the sound. It's different. It isn't outside the window this time. It's lower. It's coming from the basement. I can hear the floorboards in the pantry clicking. Da, 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 da. It's mimicking my father's walk. The heavy step, the slight limp. It's inside. How is it inside? The locks are all closed. The blankets are down. But the resonance doesn't need a window. It just needs an ear. It just needs a witness. I have to stay still. If I move, it will know I'm awake. I have to pretend I'm part of the furniture, a ghost in my own home. The scratching is on the underside of the table now, right beneath my hands. Tap, tap, tap. It's polite. It's waiting for me to acknowledge it, to look down, to see what's holding the other side of the wood. My breath is coming in short, shallow gasps. I can't look. I won't. Everything is luck. My life, my sister's health, my father's job. It's all built on a foundation of silence. But the silence is breaking. I can hear the whistle in my own head now. It's vibrating in my skull. Da, 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 dum. It knows I'm recording this. It wants the story to get out. It wants more neighbors. It wants more eyes to feed on. I can't stop the recording. My hands, they aren't mine anymore. It's 3:05. The sound is fading. Moving toward the cul-de-sac. Moving toward the next house. The next family. The next victim of the million little blessings. I'm still alive. I still have my light. For now. But I know that one night, the key will be left out, or a blanket will slip, or I'll just get tired of the dark. And on that night, the frequency will finally find its harmony in me. If you move into a place that seems too good to be true, if your sick daughter suddenly walks, if your empty pockets suddenly fill with gold, look at your windows, check the locks. And if you hear a whistle at 3:03, stay in the center of the room. Don't look outside, because the pedestrian is always looking for a new place to stay, and he's a very, very loud guest. Good night.